Tollison. Give it up. Come on.
Man, it's about knocked me out with the door just now. How y'all doing? All right, I'm glad to be here tonight. I'm feeling pretty good. Wasn't like that a few days ago though, man. I was riding around feeling bad, thinking about everything that's going on in the news, the economy and everything. Like, man, when you feeling like that, you hating on everything. I saw a rainbow in the sky. I was like, man, I wish that rainbow had a pot of gold at the end of it. But I know it ain't gonna be no pot of gold, not for me. It's gonna be one of them ugly little leprechauns. I tell you, man, gonna be a little ugly leprechaun. Man, I tell you. Funny when I do that right there. But I stopped at a traffic light. Good-looking woman pulled up beside me. Started looking over at me, you know, and started staring at me, kept staring. I was like, man, you still got it. At your age, you still got it. And then I realized, you know, I was feeling pretty good about that, you know. I was like, man, you know, I'm feeling a little bit good anyway. So then I realized it was because maybe it was because I was going. That's because I love pie. I can't help it. I love pie. And my wife had just given me some in the car, and I had it. I was eating. I was all over my mouth, you know, and I was like, and I had it on my fingers too. So I was going. I love pie. I can't help it, man. I was raised in the era of peace and love. Give me a piece and I'll love you. I didn't know that at the time they were talking about pie, but I learned. And it was in school, one of the first places that I learned about pie. Math teacher gave us some homework, came back in the next day in class. It's like, Daryl, you know what the value of pi is? I said, well, of course I know now it's 3.14, but at the time I was like, well, my uncle, I don't know, I'm not sure, but my uncle said it cost him a house and $80 a week. So I know some of y'all, some of the guys in here has probably learned that lesson too. I failed math, but I learned a lesson that some pie can be very costly. And I know some of the guys in here are saying, yeah, they had that lesson. But the women, if you was to ask them, they'd be like, it should have cost him more. But you got to always listen to your elders, though. Man, I tell you, it'll come back to you. You might not always understand what they're meaning at the time, but it'll come back to you some time or another in life and you'll understand what they were talking about. Like my mom used to tell me all the time, well, if you give in to temptation and stuff, the devil's going to get you. I'd be like, And she'd say, yeah, he is. He's going to get you tonight when you go to bed. And when you get that scared, you tell your mama. But I couldn't tell mama this time. She wasn't putting in the call. So guess who was up all night? That's right. I had my blanket fortress, rubber knife, cap gun. I was sitting there watching the window all night long. Because even though the devil's a magical, mystical creature, it could find my house and no problem find where I live, he had to still come in the window like a burglar. And the devil be outside trying to be like, oh man, I forgot my screwdriver, can't even pry the window. Oh, for badness sakes. I'm going back to hell. But my brother was in on that, teaching me about, learning me about pie and everything to me. I was 10 years old. He was 2 years older than me, so to me he was grown. And he took me down the road to a clubhouse. They had blankets hanging on clotheslines and stuff. And girls are dancing around. He was on, you know, dancing around and everything. And you gotta remember these were teenagers. They didn't have all that, you know, but they were dancing around and everything, and that's why I got the pole in the bedroom right now, I think. But cardboard box, this little girl. I was sitting there without a shirt on. She had her dress pulled up. She was like, what do you want to do? I'm like, I don't know. She said, well, you want to poke it? I'm like, okay. So I poked it. Even then, with my fingers in the pie.
That's your time. Thank you.
All right, good night, y'all. Peace and love. Thank you.
Y'all give it up for her one more time. Give it up for Carol. All right, y'all straight? No? Which one is it? Y'all straight or y'all crooked?